is non-calculator, okay?
Okay.
It's this one right here. Okay. So triangle PQR has right angle Q. If sine R equals 4/5, what is the value of tan P? No calculator. No choices either. So one reminder, you don't want to leave it blank.
Yeah.
Are you going to guess correctly? Probably not, but you're not going to lose anything if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
And so one other thing to note here, it's a geometry / trigonometry question, but there's no picture, so we should draw our own. So let's do that. So they said it was a right triangle. Okay, and I believe they said right triangle. Yeah, right triangle with a right angle of Q. So it was PQR. Okay. So P, and it said this was my right angle. With that, and then R. Okay, and what they said was sine of R is 4/5. Okay, which means this involves SOHCAHTOA. And I'm sure I've probably told you this before. I tell everybody this. Make sure you actually write SOHCAHTOA. Because here's the thing. OA, they all sound the same in your head. It's an easy mistake to make. And we remember what all this stands for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan is, what's tan again?
Opposite over adjacent.
Good, exactly. And the angle they were telling me about was R. So that's the angle down here. So 4/5, and they said sine, I believe. I know I keep flipping back and forth. So this would be my opposite, because I'm looking at this part of the word. And then this would be my hypotenuse. Okay. And by the way, not that the question is, actually, it will matter. So they want to know what tan of P is, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm looking at this part of the word, this part of the fake word, TOA. And I need to come up with tan of P. So I need to know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Any idea what it is?
Well, I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So that would be 5 squared equals 4 squared plus QR squared.
Yeah, and I just realized I wrote it incorrectly. So it should be A squared, B squared equals C squared. Yeah, and that's the thing. Remember, even if you're given two sides, sometimes people will immediately throw both of those sides into the A and B. Hypotenuse is always your C. It's always the longest side, so that's going to be 25. Doesn't really matter if I call this A or B, so I'm going to say 16 plus B squared. Let me make clear that this is a 6 and not a B. So subtract 16 from both sides. And we're left with B squared equals 9. By the way, you may have known this anyway. 3, 4, 5 right triangle, right?
Yeah.
Really important right triangle to know. The most commonly asked about triangle pretty much in the history of standardized tests. And not just 3, 4, 5, but any ratio of 3, 4, 5. So 30, 40, 50, 6, 8, 10. So what's our answer to this question then? Because it's asking for tan of P.
So if you subtract 16 from 25, then you would have 9 left. So then B squared would equal 9. So then you take the square root of both, so then B would be equal to 3. But it's asking for tan of P. So to do the opposite, which is 3, over the adjacent, which is 4. So it's 3 over 4.
Exactly. And when the time comes to put this in your answer sheet, you have a few options. Because remember, you have 4 bubbles that you're filling out. You could go 3/4. You could do point, and that counts as a space, 0.75. You could do 0.75. It's just as valid as the others. Important thing to remember. By the way, in this particular question, they said sine of R was 4/5. Does that mean that this side here is 4?
Yes.
Kind of. It's kind of a trick question. The reason is this. I don't necessarily know, because here again, I'll write it here. It said sine of R is 4/5. But that doesn't necessarily mean this side is 4 and that this side is 5.
Yeah.
What it does necessarily mean is this side divided by that side is 4 over 5.
So that shows
Whether 4 and
ratio.
5, yeah, exactly. Because these are just ratios, these SOHCAHTOA acronyms. So this could be 4 as long as this is 5. This could be 400, this is 500. And we just don't know. But what I know is if this is 4 and this is 5, this is definitely a 3 in terms of their ratio.
Yeah.
So I know tan of P is 3 over 4. I don't know what this side is necessarily. But I know what the ratio is.
Yeah.
Just something to keep in mind because other problems will kind of test on that point. All right? Okay. Excellent. All right, let's try another one now.